Lisa, roll call, please.
Judge Neskins,
Here.
Magistrate Anderson.
Here.
Magistrate Johnson. Here. Magistrate Murphy. Here. Magistrate Robinson. Here. Magistrate Dotson.
Here.
Magistrate Varney.
Here. All right. Leo, would you lead us with the
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, for approval, discussion. Approval of acceptance of the Pike County Solid Waste Ordinance and 5-year plan for solid waste. Bobby, would you explain?
Judge, it's something that's done every 5 years, and we have to have this done by October the 1st and approved by the state. And it's not no difference much of what it was the last 5 years, other than, just change some of the people's names in there and so forth, just like now that I'm the commissioner instead of Mike Lyons and things of that. And other than that, it's all the same. Okay.
Just need a motion to approve it. Motion.
All right, I need a,
Roll call.
pardon?
Roll call.
Well, I need a motion to approve and accept. Motion by?
We got it.
Yeah, we got a motion and a
Okay,
second.
roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson.
I don't
Yes.
hear too good.
Magistrate Johnson.
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy. Magistrate Robinson. Magistrate Dotson.
Yes.
Magistrate Varney.
Yes.
Judge Neskins.
Yes.
Hey, Judge, if you don't care, can I ask the court to break at this point for executive session? We got some things we need to discuss. Bobby, we need personnel and litigation, if it's okay with the court to break early.
Yes, at this time, I'd like to make a motion that we go into executive session according to KRS 61.810, paragraph C, discuss proposed or pending litigation, and paragraph F, specific personnel matters.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson.
Yes.
Magistrate Johnson.
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy. Yes. Magistrate Robinson. Yes. Magistrate Dotson. Yes. Magistrate Varney.
Yes.
Judge Neskins.
Yes. We'll be in recess. The meeting will resume. You go ahead and do it if you want to.
I got some personnel, need to approval to the resignation of Jason McCoy in the Solid Waste Department, effective 8/4. Approval to hire John Blackburn, temporary mini packer at Johns Creek at Area 1 at a 3H rate of pay, effective 8/17. Approval for Connie Martin to temporarily replace Martha Howe at a 2/8 rate of pay with longevity while she's off on workers' comp, effective 8/22. Approval for Connie Chapman to temporarily replace Connie Martin while she's filling in for Martha at a 1H rate of pay, effective 8/22. Approval to hire Johnny Atkins, temporary solid waste transfer driver, 3H rate of pay, effective 8/22. Approval to hire Donna Mullins, temporarily to replace Connie Chapman, Public Works, 6 as custodian while she's filling in for Connie Martin at a 2H rate of pay. Approval to hire John Willis and Ethan Willis, seasonal employees through the Public Works, to provide night watchmen at the Majestic School at a OH rate of pay of $8 per hour, effective 8/16. Approval to move Cody Hunt to mini packer driver, Belfry, Area 5 at a 3H rate of pay, replacing Troy Bryan, who's off on medical leave, effective 8/31. approval to hire Chris Anderson temporary as loader for solid waste, replacing Cody Hunt, Johns Creek area at a 2/8 rate of pay, effective 8/31. Approval to move Tracy Lyons at maintenance garage from a 3/8 rate of pay to a 4/8 rate of pay. Acknowledging the retirement of Charles King. Charles was a custodian at the judicial building over at the new courthouse, effective 8/31. I just want to say I knew Charles. He was very nice man. He worked many years at the county. I really hope he has a great retirement, and I hope he calls me time to time and checks in. I really liked Charles after I got to know him. And we need to acknowledge the retirement of Jill Compton, monitor for solid waste. She was a 29-year employee at the county, effective August 31st, 2017. Once again, I really appreciated Jill. I know the solid waste department's going to miss her strawberry burritos. I'm going to throw that out there. I hope Jill's hearing it, and she's more than welcome to come back and make as many strawberry burritos as she wishes. Bobby will open the kitchen, and that's the judge's recommendations.
I need a motion in a second.
Motion.
Have we got a second?
We had,
Yes, judge's motion.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson.
Yes.
Magistrate Johnson. Magistrate Murphy. Magistrate Robinson. Magistrate Dodson.
Yes.
Magistrate Varney.
Yes.
Judge Deskins.
Yes.
Hey, Judge, if you don't care, real quick, I forgot about something I was going to talk about in executive session and kind of bring the magistrates aware of it. I skipped over it.
Personnel.
Keith, I was going to talk to you too, but I'll go ahead and we'll talk out here. There's been a lot of talk over the last several months, maybe several years, over this RCC Big Show project that was supposed to be going on. I know this court over the last 6 months has really talked and asked questions about what's going on. They come in 6-7 months ago, said they was moving to Floyd County. I know the papers had questions. I know they've had articles written about what's going on. Me and Jeannie, I'm going to give Jeannie credit too. We've been in talks with them over the last couple of weeks. I had a long conversation with them today on the phone. One of the things that I've said here, and I've kind of kept quiet, I haven't said much about the RCC Big Show either direction. But in the lease, the note that they signed, one thing that's new today that wasn't new all the way up to this point is we gave this money on August of 2014. They signed a 3-year lease note. So August of 2017, this loan was supposed to be paid back in full. So effective, this was the first court meeting we've had since their breach of contract. I talked to them today on the phone, talked to them last week. We had a really good conversation today. I told them that the court was for the project, but, you know, as far as Pike County's money, it's Pike County's money. And they was in breach of contract. I expect them to pay the $400,000 back in full. They told me that they'll be in Pike County October the 22nd with the payment. So done well. October 22nd, they'll be here with the payment of some form of payment on this $400,000. When they come, you know, there's this 25% interest that's supposed to accumulate it through the years.
Yeah.
You know, I was going to talk to the court about, you know, whatever you all think. I
They
think,
signed the contract.
you know,
And it's good news what you're saying, but they breached that contract.
They did.
They did not provide us with the minutes of their meeting.
absolutely. I know Magistrate Anderson has asked questions repeatedly on if they gave us their financial records, and each magistrate has, and You know, I've been here going on 3 years, and I can honestly say I've had several meetings with them. I've had a lot of conversations with them on the phone. I've personally asked for them several times, and they've never gave them.
I know it.
To this date, they've never gave them.
I think they say October 23rd they'll be here.
October 22nd, they'll be here.
I think we go ahead and instruct, or I'll make it a motion, we instruct Keith that on October 23rd, if we ain't paid in full with the 25%, start the lawsuit. I make it a motion.
Well, I don't know, it's a special meeting, I don't know if we can do that today or not.
We probably can't.
You can make it anyways,
But
Bob.
we can, since you mentioned it, Keith may have heard what you said. We just can't, yeah. But so they were, if I understand you correctly, Brian, they were going to go ahead and make the payment in full?
Yeah, they're waiting on some funding right now. They assured me that when they come, they'll have payment. I'm hoping, Jeff, that it's the full, for at least the full 400,000. So the answer, yes.
Okay, sounds good.
Can we get somebody off that airplane too while we're at it? Yeah, they won't be here with any money, but I'll have the lawsuit ready.
Well, I
At
mean,
least they said it. At least you gave them that chance, I understand.
But I wanted to inform y'all.
I think the only 400,000 they've ever had is what we gave them. So I don't know if they'll do it.
You know, when we was in Louisville, I talked to the judge executive, Ben Hill from Floyd County, and he's meeting with them now, and he seems pretty optimistic that it's going to go in up there. And, you know, I don't know. I wish them well. I hope it goes in Floyd County. I hope job creations in Floyd County. I hope Pike County benefits from it. But, you know, I kind of think since this is the first court meeting we've had since the payment's supposed to have been paid back, that they need to pay back Pike County their money.
All right.
Remember, that'll go back into the recaptured account, so it's not free money to spend for the
Absolutely.
county. It
It's
has to be approved by Frankfurt for any dispersals on that.
Right.
All right. Awarding a bid, Tracy? Okay, thank you. All right, Madras Roadwork.
Motion.
I need a motion to accept Madras Roadwork.
Motion.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson.
Yes.
Magistrate Johnson. Magistrate Murphy. Magistrate Robinson. Magistrate Dodson.
Yes.
Magistrate Varney.
Yes.
Judge Deskins.
Yes. Magistrate's comments, Jeff?
Don't have any comments, Judge.
Okay, Leo?
Jack Darrell, still working on the bridge, Low Water Bridge, Big Hay.
These boys don't want me to talk too much. But anyway, the bridge you're talking about, Hackney, Patch Creek, yeah, I've discussed it with them, and the bridge is closed, as you know. It's in bad shape. It's coming apart. In order to fix that, he has to come out of 80/20 month if we choose to fix it. They got access roughly 3/4 of a mile from that bridge up the road and about a half a mile the other road to get out. So, you know, they're not caged in, but, okay.
Hey, Hillman, I forgot the lady's name. You remember the name of the lady that come in today, Jenny from the State Department? Jill, she gave me her card. I forget her name. Remember we met her in Louisville from Inez, working for Commissioner Reese? Remember we went over and talked to her? She come in today and we talked about the Blackberry Bridge, and I told her I'd let you know that, and Jackie Darrell know that. She's, yeah, going to make some calls and going to work on the bridge over there.
Well, it's awful good of her coming over here. She said she's gonna get right on it.
She was here today. We had a,
Yeah, I had a discussion yesterday with the chief engineer down at the State Department down here, and Reese, the super commissioner, called me the other day and wanted me to meet with the State Department head down here, and so we talked. So they trying to work on it, try to get it done.
I just told her I'd tell both of y'all that she was here today. Very nice lady on this. She's going to try everything in her power to help us over there.
Did she mention that doing the money and emergency work? 'Cause what the last word I got out of them is they just want to do an 80-20 deal, and the cost of the bridges went down substantially, they think, since we can use the piers and just repairing them, and they think the cost is way down, somewhere around $285,000.
Ray said he was going to send another group in here to look at it, and he's assigned it over to Jill. She is the representative from his office that's representing the eastern part of Kentucky, and she's originally from Inez, and she understood the location and everything, and she told me in the meeting down there that she's going to come up. I'm glad she did, because I wasn't expecting her that soon.
She did.
Yeah, I talked to him, I think it's Friday I talked to him, this past Friday.
Martin County's Republican.
Kenneth, do you have any comments? Hillman?
Yeah, Judge, that's one of the things I was going to talk about, is that bridge, and I guess I talked to Ralph about it, and Ralph said there's no way that we can build that bridge for $700,000. He figured that it would cost if we done it. And, he said it'd take a pretty good contractor to be able to do that bridge. And I told Reese down there that if they're not going to help us with it, take the band off of it and turn it open.
What's his name?
We didn't close the bridge, they did.
Master.
That bridge is subject to be replaced in 2021, and at their cost, right, Jack?
Yeah, that's what I was under the assumption.
And there's not enough money in our county budget to build that bridge. And we still got the bypass, but I believe this lady that met with you today will try to find a way that we can work through that. But we just have to wait and see.
I'm glad that's going on there, Hilma, but as I was talking to Mary, she's the head down there, and she was telling me that, and I was trying to get them to let us build the bridge and turn in plans, but she says that it had to be an engineer that would do that, and she told them this was the bare minimum plan that she give us that 911 crew printed off for me, and that Blankenship looked at, and it would take a pretty good person to build that bridge their way. And I was trying to talk to her yesterday, let it do it her way, but she didn't bite that, so looks like it's their plans who pays for it. Don't know for sure.
Another thing, Brian, I think that we need to let the people know that you're ready to enter into a contract with the health department at the Majestic School. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, got everything lined up, meeting with the health department tomorrow. I'll call in the morning, get the time, and go finalize the lease. I think Keith is going to help draw up the lease, get everything going. So hopefully, Hillman, let's say, I'm hoping in October that they'll be over there open running. Everything's moving forward just a little slow. I think the health department had some issues with trying to get WIC approval or something. I know they're working through it, but hopefully in the next 30 days we'll have everything lined up and they'll be over there as the satellite health department opens.
Brian, I'm hoping that we can advertise and have a meeting with the public. The public's been asking me, when are you going to open it up? And the health department's told me they'd like to go in and have a community meeting and let them know what they got to offer and see what they want. And
Let the TV come on.
it'd be good if we could set a date tomorrow after you meet with them and see when they want to do that.
I will.
And I'd like to say that Paul has done an extremely good job on that place. It looks like a new building with our public works people. They went in and they've spent very little money on what they've done, and the people in the community is pleased with it, the way it looks, and we was able to salvage that building, and I think we're going to see some good things happen over there. There's a lot of potential there, and once we get it up and going, I think we'll be able to recapture some of the money that we put in it, and hopefully that we can get the Big Sandy over there to start the classes, and maybe a daycare or something. They were talking about doing some of that. And it's well needed over there.
I know at Shaleba Bartley, she's got a lot of good ideas, and I think she'll be the one that's over the facility over there, and there's no doubt about it, she's not going to run with it and do a great job.
Another thing I want to bring up and let the public know where we stand is we had a court last Friday at Morgan County where the magistrate versus the commissioner type of government, a special judge heard the case. Our county attorney was there, and the magistrates were there to hear it, and she said she would render a decision pretty quick, and I'll let the county attorney update you on that. I know the people's out there wanting to know where we stand on that issue. I've had a lot of people call and want to know what's happening, so if you want to, Keith, you can go ahead and let them know what.
Do you want me to address that now while during Hillman's comments? That'd be fine. I'll go ahead and jump in there. The issue of the commissioner versus magistrate form of government, it's not that the judge is trying to decide which one's the best. And keep in mind, this is not Morgan County Court. Even though we were in Morgan County, it's a Pike Circuit Court case. She's special judge, the lady, very good judge. She asked us to come down there, a little more convenient on her if we came down there, so we went down there and argued the case. The other side's attorney argued for over an hour, mainly technical issues, saying it shouldn't even be before the court, mainly said we shouldn't even have access to the Pike Circuit Court. We just simply wanted an answer on whether or not we should have had an election for the form of government. And the reason for that is that we had the election based upon 2 petitions. There's a split of opinions out there. If you go back over the last 100 years on these type cases, there's not been that many of them. But anytime you have a local referendum, you have petitions, and when you have petitions, you have a lot of names on there, and there's always susceptible to challenges, each and every one of them. So the number of people that were certified reached the number, and the question was, do you use duplicate or additional sheets of paper, or can you have additional times? The courts have allowed people to amend those as much as 4 years, which I thought was outrageous. But then we've also denied them when they tried to amend them within a very short period of time or add to them. So the split of opinions and the Attorney General's opinions have not been entirely consistent either. So we thought a circuit judge ought to be the one rule on that. It probably shouldn't be a county attorney make that final decision, nor should it be a county clerk or anybody. I thought that ought to be the judiciary. I'm not a judge in the judiciary, and even our county judge is not a judge in the judicial type sense. So we thought it ought to be put before the judiciary as an independent body. So that's where we're at. She talked like she'd make a pretty ready decision. There was a couple of housekeeping measures which would bore you if I went into them. She wanted submitted to her before she made the final opinion. But it was fun. It was a Friday. Good time to get out of town. Went down and saw we got a little closer to the hurricane. What was it? It rained about 3 or 4 inches down there, more than it did here. So it was a fun day to get away and see a few of Pike County citizens showed up for it. And it was, I didn't talk as much as the other attorney. Hopefully what I said was just as intelligent though. Thanks.
Thank you, Keith. And the last thing I guess I need to bring up, Jack, where we stand on the removal of the graves over there. I know you're working on it, and I just wonder where we stand at.
Yeah, I had that on my little agenda to bring up here. I stopped and talked to the undertaker at Phelps, the West boy, Jones and West there, and he and the Wolford boy with the Wolford board used him. They got some paperwork finalized on permission to do some of the deals, but we need to go to circuit court and get a approval by the court or a order by the court to take up other graves if we find other bodies other than the Wolfords there. Just a broad ruling where we can get all bodies that's under the road up. And so I've got to go to circuit court and do that and just pick that paper up today, or someone needs to. And the other deal relating to, I stopped and visit John Doug there Friday for a few hours, and he told me that I should, and he enlightened me on one thing. UK has a machine down there in their division that deals with bodies. and the soil composition is different where somebody dies. And they take that machine over that road, and to save us from tearing up more road than necessary, if I can get them to do it. I called them twice last week, and they have yet to call me back, so I may have to, my thoughts was, stopped by yesterday, he was real busy, and so I didn't get to talk to her corner. I thought he might could help me get a hold of some institution that had the machine to go over the roads and detect where bodies is at, and thereby, keep us from tearing up more roads than necessary. So it's a work in progress.
Thank you. Judge, that's all I have. I guess they'll talk about the tandems here in a little bit later, won't we, John? That's all I have.
Bobby, you have any comments?
Just a couple, Judge. Paul and his men have finished up or finishing, putting the finishing touches on a back porch of the Belfry Courthouse. And it's basically, we had that built for our seniors. They came out there in the rocking chairs the other day and was sitting on that porch and singing a couple of songs and stuff. And it just, I tell you what, I invite anybody to come over and see that. And his men do a great job. One woman made the comment and said, it looks like maybe a real carpenter done this. But they've done a great job over there, and they always do great jobs. But our senior citizens are really enjoying that, and I enjoy watching them enjoying it. So it's been a real worthwhile thing.
Bobby, don't mean to interrupt you, but I was over last week, and we was driving out through the county and over in Belfry looking at some things, and we pulled in, and when we pulled in, you just heard singing. Yeah. And they was all on the back porch back there, what he built singing. And what was so funny about it is me and Danny Brandon was up front, and Bobby was in the back. And I about got whooped over by them seniors. That's a true story. They said nobody puts Bobby in the back seat. Now, they really did. I mean, they was mad. And I said, don't look at it as he's in the back seat. Look at it as we was chauffeuring him. Danny, yeah. No, he didn't. Danny didn't, no. But it was very nice. It really is.
It is.
It's true, Bobby. They really did.
They did. They did. They did.
Bobby, we, like you just said, we've got some of the best carpenters in Pike County. And Paul, you can commend them boys for what work they do, and your leadership, I'd put them up against anybody.
Yeah, they're top-notch carpenters, and we got some of the best workers in the county and all, to all the county, But them boys they take pride in what they do over there, anything you do.
And it shows.
Yeah.
It shows. And I can't come to a meeting without saying something about picking up litter and stuff. And Jimmy Dale's boys had been down on 292 below the hospital, going down the river road, and picked up garbage there a couple of days. And it was 2 or 3 days before the garbage people solid waste got to pick up the bags, and some of it was scattered. And I stopped one evening and picked up a couple of bags that had been scattered out. Well, this old man, he pulled up and he said, if I had a bag, said there was some down the road the same way, said I'd pick them up. I gave him 2 garbage bags and he went and he picked them up. So we got to just keep doing it. I get aggravated with it, and I ask the question, why, but we just got to keep picking it up, and our people's doing a great job doing that. That's all I have, Judge.
All right.
Judge, before you go on, I'd like to say, too, that we had our news reporter down at Morgan County, and I appreciate him traveling as far as he did to cover the story. I didn't read it and don't know what he put in there, but it's good to see somebody travel that distance to report news that's happening here in Pike County.
Done.
Back to you, Judge.
That's it.
Treasurer's business.
Authorize any necessary transfers and intra-fund transfers to pay the bills, payroll, health and life insurance.
I need a motion in a second.
Motion.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Henderson.
Yes.
Magistrate Johnson.
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy.
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson. Magistrate Dodson.
Yes.
Magistrate Varning.
Yes.
Judge Deskin.
Yes.
Authorize a check made payable to Jimmy Kaiser in the amount of $3,500 for travel expenses to return the lease equipment to auction in Montgomery, Alabama.
Need a motion in a second.
Motion. Second. Second.
Roll call, please.
Master Anderson.
Yes.
Master Johnson. Master Murphy. Master Robinson. Master Dotson.
Yes.
Master Varney.
Yes.
Judge Teske.
Yes.
Authorize a check made payable to J&M Monitoring in the amount of $18,678. It's passed through NRCS monies when received for asbestos abatement for Roe Donald Boyd NRCS flood buyout project.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Master Anderson.
Yes.
Master Johnson.
Yes.
Master Murphy. Master Robinson. Master Dotson.
Yes.
Master Varney.
Yes.
Judge Teske.
Yes.
Additional treasurer's business is a lady paid us for a deposit last year for the rental of the Greasy Creek Community Center, and she used it on the 2nd and 3rd, and we need to give her $50 deposit back. Patty H. Gillespie.
Motion. Second.
Roll call, please.
Master Anderson.
Yes.
Master Johnson.
Yes.
Master Murphy. Master Robinson. Master Dotson.
Yes.
Master Varney.
Yes.
Judge Teske.
Yes.
We also need to issue a check to the Kentucky Power Company for aid to the needy in the amount of $815.26.
Need a motion in a second. Motion. Roll call, please.
Who got the second? Kenna. Master Anderson.
Yes.
Master Johnson.
Yes.
Master Murphy. Master Robinson. Master Dotson.
Yes.
Master Varney.
Yes.
Judge Teske.
Yes.
I have no further business.
All right.
Bill, if you don't care, real quick, I want to say Sandy Runyon's here, and I appreciate Sandy. She works hard for Pike County. I appreciate when she comes to her meetings. She does a lot in Pike County. A lot of people don't know. We had a meeting here last week with the idea board, and she attended and gave her input and suggestions, and I just wanted to thank her for coming to our meetings and being here, and also wanted to tell her that I'm getting all the information together on the Hardy Fire Department. I've got probably 80% of it together now, hoping to have everything by Friday. I'd like to maybe try to get down to your office by Friday, Sandy, and maybe we can get going on that. You need to say anything or talk about anything?
We're working on a couple of other grants, I think. It needs to be that we're working on. And also,
Right.
Sandy, is it possible that we could maybe set up a meeting with some of your people to talk about grants and see what they might be able to help us with?
I'll be happy the next time you have a report. If you don't have time, or we need to have that,
Be good.
So they're on top of the things that's happening out there, and they can tell us, you take them to all the meetings, and they're well educated in that, and they do a good job. Now, we've got another one scheduled for you said the 18th, Brian?
19th.
At 10 o'clock in the morning. And also, Jimmy, appreciate you and what you've been doing, and I guess you'll update us today before the meeting's over on what you found out, what you got going, and tell us about our upcoming trails. Next week we got a meeting. They're having one in Tazewell, Virginia.
Right.
Sandy, that was probably the first time that we've been able to get something going on them trails. In how many years? 12 years?
Sir, and Jimmy were there, and I do want to make the correction. A lot of people, when they talk about Sandy, they say that's Big Sandy from Big Sandy Ad. that's pretty sandy from Big Sandy.
Yeah.
All right. Public comment, Joshua Martin and James Billiter.
Jonathan Masters.
That's Jonathan Masters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Master, that's a better name.
Yeah.
How's everybody doing this afternoon?
Just fine.
As you guys may recall, I brought Mr. Builder in here a couple months ago, and there is what's effectively an abandoned grave on his property that we petitioned the fiscal court for permission to remove that grave and to relocate it at the Mountain View Memory Gardens. Now, we published notice in the Appalachian News Express twice now, on August the 22nd and also on June the 16th, and ask anybody who had any kind of objection to us removing that and relocating that grave to contact my office and or contact Mr. Builder. To date, nobody has contacted us. 60 days have passed, which is a required notice, and we're just here this afternoon to petition the court for the approval to remove and relocate the grave of Fred B. Slater from the property there on Turkey Creek to Mountain View Memory Gardens, where he's already got his grave plot and everything already purchased. Of course, this expense will be borne by Mr. Builder himself. He's not asking the fiscal court for any kind of money to have this grave and stuff removed, but unfortunately, it looks like through my reading of the statute and things, I should say fortunately, from my reading of the statute, I think that this removal of the body and things has to be approved by the court, and that's the reason why we're here this afternoon.
My recommendation is to the court is that they go ahead and sign it. That you've dotted your I's, crossed your T's. That statute is probably like a lot of our older statutes. A lot of people don't really realize that they're in there. A lot of general statutes still fall under the county court. A lot of authority was switched over in 1978 over to the district court, over the state courts. But if you're reading of that, I agree with you. You did a very good. I was bragging on you the other day. I said I see a lawyer dig up some, so to speak, dig up some good law, and I appreciate you doing that for us.
It's an old one, that's for sure. It's an old
There's
statute.
still a lot of old statutes floating around out there that give the county fiscal court a lot of authority on a lot of matters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my recommendation to the court would be follow what the sharp young lawyer suggests.
So,
Do we have to make a resolution or just a motion to court, or what do we have to do?
I think you can do it based upon motion, or I think the judge could even accept it and do it, but just to be safe, I believe I'd do it by just your traditional motion order. It's not an ordinance or anything. I believe you just do it. It's not by ordinance, just by order, isn't it?
It says by order or resolution is what it says. Now, my only question or concern is, will the actual, because we know after this is approved, we have to contact the Department of Vital Statistics, of course, to get their approval and stuff as well, or get their, everything. Do we need something actual in writing, in paper, instead of, and I prepared an order here that I think may suffice, and I can show it to you if you'd like.
Yeah, I trust, you've done the work on it. I trust your judgment. You've done a good job on
It
that.
just basically says the facts and things, and then
Besides this KRS and everything on there. Oh, yeah, you've done a great job on that.
yep.
Thank you.
Okay, then at this time, I'd make a motion that we give the judge the authority to go ahead and sign the necessary papers on that.
Need a second.
Need a second.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Master Anderson,
Yes.
Master Johnson,
Yes.
Master Murphy,
Yes.
Master Robinson, Master Dodson,
Yes.
Master Varney,
Yes.
Judge Deskins.
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Tender it to the judge, or how should he do that, clerk? Just leave it with the clerk, or the judge go ahead and sign it now?
I think the judge has already signed it, but won't he have to take it down to clerk and get it on record?
Yeah, give it however you all want to do it.
Sure, yeah, that'll be fine, however you guys want to do that.
pass it.
Once you put it on record, I can contact you tomorrow or something, and maybe get you to fax me a
Stamp
copy.
file copy and stuff.
We'll pass it to her clerk, and she'll take it down tomorrow, Lisa.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
See you guys.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Jackie Darrell, do you have any comments?
I've covered 3 of my subject matters. Got a few more. We'll wait till next meeting. Take care. And I was glad the court voted that check. I thought I was going to finance the deal there for a while.
Can't afford your interest rate.
911, Tacky. Bobby? Nothing. All right. County Attorney's report.
Yeah, speaking of interest rates, I was just looking at what we're getting instead of paying. I leaned on my accountant magistrate friend here to my left. The Big Show lawsuit, should we add the county interest, they would owe us $781,250 as opposed to $400,000. Will they be writing a check for the full amount or just the principal, or?
Keith, I'm going to get them in Pike County with their checkbooks. Hopefully you'll be present and we can work all that out when they get here. Yeah.
Oh, you're waiving the, you want to waive the interest? Oh, Jeannie wants to waive the interest.
I'll go ahead and get on record, I do not want to waive the interest.
Okay, we'll add the interest to the lawsuit. And all joking aside, does the lawsuit need to include interest?
Yes, 25% interest.
Good deal. It'll be the lawsuit will be for $781,250. I'll prepare it and have it ready for you all to vote on or approve or whatever.
All right. I need a motion for adjournment.
I thought Jimmy Bevins was going to talk a little bit. We got a little issue coming up here next week, ain't we, Jimmy? About the trail tour. You want to tell us about what's going on the trails?
I'll be quick. Debbie Spence was one of the ladies that helped get some of the legislative agenda through, and they're going to be doing a visit over in Virginia on Tuesday. Quick update on our river trails. Jimmy is in the process of getting our permits together for Division of Water, so you guys can start the construction on those over the next couple of days. Sandy's looking into the grants for the two that we initially had with the Fish and Wildlife folks. Also, we will be doing a rally ride on October the 28th, which will be on a Saturday. And then our next scheduled trail meeting will be on the 28th, which is the fourth Thursday of the month. It'll be here in the Fiscal Court building. That will be the 28th of September. So that's where we are on our trails.
This Virginia trail, is that you take your own four-wheeler up there, or what are we going to do on that?
Basically, what she was wanting to do is invite some of the other counties to just see how things have evolved over there with the economic impact. There have been some businesses that have went in. There have been some housing, hotel motels, bed and breakfasts, chalets, cabins, basically a lot of the support businesses that follow the trail system. I think based off of the Hatfield-McCoy numbers that I've looked at from Jeff Lusk, it's about a $30 million a year economic impact just off the ATV trails in the 7 county areas over in West Virginia. So there's a lot of potential out there once we get the trails established. It looks like that trail authority that will be coming together at the state level, which Bobby is our representative on that. They'll be meeting probably within the next 4 to 6 weeks to try to continue to have that evolve. And as that rolls forward, then as a county, we'll be able to take the properties that we have as a county and roll that up into that if we so choose to do that. So
This is scheduled for a 2-day event, right? Up there, so we can drive up and back home that evening, and then...
yes, the ride, I think what they're going to do is they're going to go on a ride that morning and basically do some touring of different sites that they have over there. If you want to go over and the night before and visit and talk and network, they're going to make that available as well.
Yeah, she needs to know by Friday who's going to come, so they'll have enough side-by-side ATVs for everyone. So they're going to furnish the ATV.
This is going to be at St. Paul, right?
Yes.
And the more, I guess, you find out if we need to take our ATVs or whatever, let us know.
Yeah, and if there's anybody that would like to go, just let me know, and if you need something to ride, we can make arrangements. And
So it's going to be an ATV ride through their
that was my
trails?
understanding in reading the memo, was that they're going to have a morning ride, actually take people out on the trails that some of these counties may not have trail systems like we're accustomed to here. So it'll give them a firsthand, kind of boots on the ground experience.
I think it would be good if we could go and see what they've got going, and Sandy might go, and take Cal and her brother-in-law Willie. But I think it's good that you're working on these things. And
Well, we're making progress. This House bill at the state level is a game changer in terms of what it provides the landowners, and that was kind of been the missing link.
what we've been waiting on.
So now that that's in place, it's just now a matter of getting the agreements executed and beginning to build that out. So,
And we're ready to start our river trails, our
yes,
sites.
yes, we're just waiting on the permits to be finalized, which should probably be next week. And then we'll submit those, and depending on how busy they are, it's 2 or 3 days, and they should have those approved, and you guys will be good to go.
That's good. Maybe we can get some of this done before bad weather.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Sandy's got a little something she's wanting to add to that, I believe.
Judge, while Sandy's coming up, I had a phone call just now that was a really good phone call for us. We have a senior that he hadn't answered the door in 2 days from over at Phelps. We deliver meals to him, and so we were real worried, and the sheriff's department just went to do a wellness check, and he's okay. So it's a good report. He had just been out walking around when it was time for the meal to be delivered, so he's okay. I just wanted to tell you what had happened.
Thank you.
And I really just kind of wanted to add a comment to what Jimmy's saying. I think this bill is a game changer as far as trails in the eastern part of the state's concerned. It's going to take a while to get there, but Pike County's headed in the right direction, so I feel really positive about that. The other thing I wanted to say is more of an announcement than anything else. I'm not sure if the guy from Honor Flight, Kentucky came before this court and made you all aware of what they're doing in Kentucky. But I know he was at the radio station, I think, but I didn't know if he came here or not. On September 16th, Cal, my husband, and 2 of his brothers, including Willie and one that lives in Ohio, are taking this honor flight to Washington, D.C., and it's probably the first time that they've done the 3 brothers that are flying together. At one time, that family had 5 boys in the military at one time. So it's an honor for them to be able to do it. And after that's done, we'll take some videos and those kinds of things and bring it back. And I'd really like to talk to the court about something around that trip for them, because it is an honor. And the guys that are doing this truly believe in what they're doing, and they're doing it for no other reason than honoring the veterans. And so I think it's a great program, but I just wanted to make you all aware of that. They're flying out of Lexington on the 16th. They have to be there at 5:30. And apparently it's a really big deal when they come back to the airport. They'll be back about 9:30. Did you do
I think
that?
Leo's going too.
I'm privileged too to be on the honor flight on October the 14th.
Good.
And I was down there last year when one of them come back, and it is one celebration. It is, and it's an honor, big time. And I'm looking forward to it.
Well, they are too, but it's, we'll kind of compare stories after we both do it. But it's really an honor, and I'm really proud of them for being able to do that and really support the organization for doing what they're doing. And I know they're trying to include more people from Eastern Kentucky, and that's why I wanted to make everybody aware of that. The opportunity's out there, and they're certainly wanting to come into Eastern Kentucky and share that with veterans in Eastern Kentucky.
Yeah, the one I'm going on, Toyota's paying for all of it.
This is a Touchstone flight is doing this one. And the really good thing about this one, all three of the brothers have sons, and so each son is going with the brother as a guardian. So it's really going to be a really
My oldest grandson gets to go with me.
good. That's a good thing, so.
Sandy, I had, my dad and 6 of his brothers were in the service at the same time. So I know where you're coming from.
And a lot of Eastern Kentuckians are like that, so it's a good thing.
Sandy, some of our veterans, they'll bring flyers about things like that and put in the elevators downstairs and stuff, so we are aware of some of the stuff, but that's.
I saw that on the elevator.
It's a veterans rep. We have a veterans representative. He brought it up.
Yeah.
We have it out.
When I was making these arrangements, Mr. Campbell told me that they were really trying to get into Eastern Kentucky and find people who were willing to do that. And of course, they're always looking for sponsors too, because there's a charge associated with it, so they need sponsors. But I'm really glad that they're coming into Eastern Kentucky to do it, because sometimes because of where we are, some of our veterans don't have the same privilege that others have, so.
So when they come back, when they fly back into Lexington, there's like a parade or
It's a huge celebration in the airport.
There's probably thousands of people waiting at the airport when they get back around 9 to 10 o'clock at night on Saturday night. So they line up, whole thing, people 10, 12 deep. Then everybody comes down between them and their wheelchairs and things. It's something to
I bet
see.
it's absolutely something to see.
It's an honor.
Gives me chill bumps thinking about it.
It really is. So if anybody happens to be down there, that's on September 16th.
You want to go?
I think it'd be a good trip. Fiscal court, go down and support it. Maybe the fiscal court could go down and support it. I think it'd be a good trip to do. I'd like to see it myself.
Yeah, it is an honor. And like I said, they're really trying to come into Eastern Kentucky, so we're kind of looking forward to it. But that's really all I wanted to share.
Thank you, Sandy.
Thank you, Sandy.
Pretty Sandy.
All right. Anything else? I'll make a motion to adjourn. Roll call, please.
Master Anderson, Master Johnson, Master Murphy, Master Robinson, Master Dotson.
Yes.
Master Varney,
Yes.
Judge Diskins.
Yes.